Right, once again, we'd like to give all praises to our Lord.
Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaKakodash.
Right, Yahweh, in the name of the Heavenly Father, which means he to be here, exist, the existing one, Ba'ashem, in the name, Yahushai is only because he saved the Son, is that powers that we serve in that powers that become in the name of this is Gms Trinidad camp. Right, we're the leg of the Hebrew Israelites of the Gms branch, Great Millstone branch here in Trinidad, to feed the elect. Right? And the prophesy is on all of America, aka Babylon the Great, the more that sits upon the beast. Alright? Here for another week, so get coffee.
The book of Matthew chapter 5 verses 17 said, "Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill." Words of Yahushai, expressing that didn't come to destroy the law or the prophets. Right, which in a nutshell goes back to the Old Testament, right? The Tanakh, as it's called in the acronym, right? The laws, the prophets, the writings, right? He didn't come to destroy that, but he came to fulfill those things that was written of him in that Old Testament that it's called today, right? But the Christian church will teach you, right? The masses of the people believe, right, that the Old Testament, right? Some of them even think that the whole Bible is an old book, it's an old story, and has no significance even in today's time. Alright, but the Lord didn't come to destroy that, but he came to fulfill those things that was written of him. And he's going to come back again to even fulfill more things that was written of him. But continue on, it says in verse 18, it says, "For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law, till all be fulfilled." But these Christians, they steady telling you that the laws don't matter. They abuse the grace that the Lord has given, right? Applying that name Jesus, and how Jesus did this, Jesus did that for them, so they don't have to keep no laws. But according to the Bible, the laws still stand. Go ahead.
It says Psalms 12 and 6. "The words of the Lord are pure words, as silver tried in the fullness of the earth, purified 7 times. Thou shalt keep them, O Lord, thou shalt preserve them from this generation forever."
The Christians, they try to distort the purity of these words. But the words and the laws are pure words, and we have to give it just like that, pure. Right? In its right sense, in its purity, in doctrine showing what incorruptness, as the scripture urges us to do. So we need to butter it up for you, we need to twist it up, we need to give it a forward tongue, because the Lord hates that. The brother read that earlier, we was across the street preaching, right? Rain drove us across here, and we're still doing the work. In season, out of season, no matter the weather. We out here to declare, as the brother began by saying, and I declare the downfall of this place, and the pulling down of different strongholds, false philosophies, false doctrines, and to extol our Lord Yahushai and Mashiach the truth. Alright, go ahead.
It says, verse 8, "The wicked walk on every side when the vilest men are exalted."
And that's what we see today, the wicked walking on every side. Right here in Trinidad recently, they had a drag show, right, which time we think how Ba'ashem Yahushai, police came in and raided it, right? Although it could be a setup, right? It could be a stepping stone to something that they wanna forward in the future, because we know for a fact that if you do the history, right, we should know, if you do the history of where this whole Pride Month began. It began with a police raid. A police raided a club that was having homosexual functions, right? Rainbow people function, I should say it like that, right? And from there they had this annual Juneteenth, every June they have Pride Month, 1447. So we don't know. They could have done that raid, right, to forward another wicked.
Spiritual wickedness on the left hand side.
That's right.
But Sirach chapter 32 verse 17, "A sinful man will not be reproved, but finding an excuse according to his will. A man of counsel will be considerate, but a strange and proud man is not daunted with fear, even when he of himself had done of counsel." And the counsel is the words of Yahweh Shai. Them words that what? Them laws, statutes, and commandments are never changed, right? It's just that you're not judged by the Lord, not executing the punishment of the law as in the time of Moses, right? Because in the time of Moses, the law was glorified, right? When the man picked up 6 on the Sabbath, he was put to death. Hey, going back further than that, when they was carrying in time of David, right? When the man was carrying, when the Levite was carrying the Ark of the Covenant, and the Ark was falling, and the man who was not of the tribe of Levi touched the Ark, he was put to death because according to the law, right? Only the Levites supposed to touch, only the priests supposed to touch the Ark, which were Levites, were supposed to touch the Ark of the Covenant. They were the only ones sanctified in and cleansed to touch that, right? So even though he was doing a good thing, guess what? Or it seemed to be good, it was wrong because of disobedience to the law.
That's right. The scripture says he requires obedience.
See, but it's
Even better than sacrifice.
yeah.
So you might think to yourself it may be the right thing, but if it's breaching the instruction given, you can die. That's what the Lord showed right here. Obey me and live. Disobey me and die. Don't lean on your own understanding.
So Psalms 19 and 13, keep back thy servant also from presumptuous sins. Right? Let them not have dominion over me. Then shall I be upright, and I shall be innocent from great transgression. Right? So don't presume, right? What you want presumptuous wasn't to being arrogant or proud.
Like these other camps. They're proud, they're arrogant because they've been constantly being reproved, right, through the words and teaching of the ancient apostles that are returned today, right, or elders and apostles of great grace. So keep reproving them about the false doctrines, and they won't stop. The sinful man will not be reproved but find an excuse. And it's a sin, a right to bear false witness. Scripture say the false witness speaketh lies. And that's what these other camps are committed, basically. False witness. When they teach hell doctrine, right? They teach that eternal fire, burning forever in hell, that they are going to be Israelites, right? That ain't going to make it into the kingdom. That's a lie. That ain't according to some doctrine. That ain't according to the true witness. And then we got to go to Matthew 5. Matthew chapter 5 and verses 19. It says, whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments and shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. He shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. Did it say and he won't make it to the kingdom of heaven?
All is not going to be saved.
That's it. It said that there's a man who broke the commandments of God. He sinned. He lived a life of sin. And he taught men to do so as well. And he was in the kingdom. That is what this is saying. But he's going to be called the least. Because in the kingdom, there's going to be a rank and file. There's going to be a ranking system. 1 Corinthians, the 15th chapter. Yeah.
No, not First Corinthians. I have Second Ezra, chapter 8 and verse 56. It says, for when they had taken liberty, they despised the Most High, toward scorn of his law, and forsook his ways. Moreover, they have trodden down his righteous, and said in their heart that there is no power. So we know the heart of this man. Right? They're not looking forward that by the time they establish a kingdom on this side. Have a sovereign piece of land in the United States where they can go and have racist-free schools, hospitals, etc. Because the Most High Yahweh Shai now in their heart, and they profess it to this. They don't call on Yahweh Shai. The Most High Christ bless, right?
In his last teaching, he called us the Yayas. He said, we were saying Judah. He said Judah. And then for our Yaya brothers, right, Yahawada or Yehuda, say we love you. Maybe you are father. Alright, the way you operate, the way I just kept that say a man may be known. A lot of things that may do it's questionable, right? When it pertains to being a father. But go ahead.
It says, and said in their heart, verse 58, that there is no God, yea, and knowing they must die, for as the things as foresaid shall receive you, so thirst and pain are prepared for them.
So what? So what?
So thirst and pain are prepared for them.
Thirst and pain.
For it was not his will that men should come to naught. But they which be created have defiled the name of him that made them, and were unthankful unto him which prepared life for them.
Well,
And what is Yahweh Shai? I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh to the Father but through me. If you call him Yoke. Right? It says, and therefore is my judgment now at hand.
his judgment is now at hand. And guess what? That judgment is not eternal fire forever. That is not that.
That's another lie. That's another lie.
Because the judgment for the wicked nation is not even that. If the judgment for Esau is to be annihilated, there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, and that's the wicked. I think people against whom the Lord are a big nation forever.
Where is the love fire coming?
How could the Lord take his people who he loves and put them to burn forever? Then the Lord contradicting himself and making the Most High a liar.
It says 2 Ezra 9 and 10. For such as in their life receive benefits and have not known me. Yeah, you're making your millions, you have your annual earnings made the public arena. So we know you're a millionaire, right? We know it's no public knowledge you're a millionaire, right? Your organization making millions as well, right? Who giving you them benefits? Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. But what are you doing with it? Not his will, right? Not his will. Because at some point in time, if you're not doing it now, you did it then, and you're still already doing it now because you're making merchandise. In order to be in a UIC, you have to pay for a kit, a starter kit, a Passover kit, and different kits, right? Scripture says, sell the word, buy it not. Buy the truth and sell it not. You understand? Buy the truth and sell it not. And hey, the scripture says, rend, which means to tear, right, to mourn. Because what you do, for a customer by Hebrew, is that when you're mourning, you tear your clothes, you rip your garment, you go down on the earth, you put dust on your head, right? And you cry, ashes, dust, right? You cry. You cry out until you have Hashem Yahweh Shai, right? The scripture says, rend your heart, tear your heart, and not your garment, right? We don't wear glorious garment. About the scripture says, sackcloth. They will be wearing sackcloth. Yeah, we might put little designs on it, whatever. And hey, and even with our designs, we put the Shai on it. Some of them might have the ephod on it, representing the priesthood, which is what? The priests serve Yahweh Shai. The true priests serve Yahweh. They don't serve themselves. So we ain't out there serving ourselves. We becoming no fat cats or the kingpin or no high horses. We out here serving our maker. It says, for such as in their life have received benefits and have not known me, and they that have loaded my law while they had yet liberty, and when yet place of repentance. So what? Now the time of repentance. Right? Repent means to turn back. Be penitent or sorrowful and go back. Go back to who? Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. You see, you all speak the Lord, but you don't keep it. He doesn't be reproofing his men. He himself have long here at this point in time. You know? 1, 4, 4, 5, 6. You understand the Lord? You understand? He don't reproof men or having long hair. He doesn't do things according to the scriptures. He do things according to the gospel on you. Right? GOCC book and hello. As you became better get to the program. Right? The mark of the beast is the MOTB. The MOTB is sorry, the C-hip. There's the C-hip. There's no, it has no command in general in the scriptures. It's King David and it's his 144, the house of David. Right? King David, which we know is Marsha. Right? Johanna was in the school and went through it this last weekend. Right? Johanna was there contemporary and even before Apostle Taha. Right? But he was in the school, so you know who Marsha is. Right? And he's the king that is prophesied to sit on the throne. So when the general come in,
and then the scripture says he sent us as apostles, teachers. You know?
He didn't send us as no warriors. He didn't send us as no generals. Yes, we're going to have captains over. But We're not out here in no military mode. Because guess what? You can't defeat Esau. When the Lord come in to make a sword destruction, and he come in with what? Spiritual power. He says he's not going to meet me as a man. He said his elect going to see him as he is, because they're going to be like he is. You understand? So, the scripture says, be not underling to a man that has no understanding. So, some of you going to get caught up. Some of you, Jay, going to get caught up. Unless you repent and the Most High put that veil over your head, you're going to get caught up on these wrong camps. Because I don't want to say it slowly and steadily, but we hastily and steadily headed towards the day of Jacob's trouble. Right? Jacob's trouble overall is a season, but there's going to come a day where everything is going to be imposed, where you're going to have to make that decision, where the final test, the final exam is going to come, where it's going to be chip or die. Because the chip is the MOTB. And the decision you're going to have to make. You may have a season where you will not be able to eat, buy, sell, and you're going to have to depend on your Habash and your Shai. Those who call them one of them other names, right? You're not going to be provided for, right? Because the power of heaven and earth, he provides for his men. He hears it, not sinners. And guess what? The whole thing about repenting is so that you can turn away from sin. So if you're repentant, if you're not being made in the spirit of the house, how could you not be? According to the scriptures, you're going to be found with your garments with spots in it. You're not going to have whitened garments. Right? The scripture says in 2 Ezra chapter 15, right? My right hand shall not spare sinners, and he knows all them that sin against him.
It says in Psalm chapter 21, his right hand shall find out all his enemies. He's going to find out all the enemies. Because even when the Lord Yahweh Shai comes, abide on his authority is proclaimed throughout the earth. Anybody that don't want to worship him, he's going to have them slain. Alright, so it's either you bow or die to the Lord. Just like Esau is saying today. Esau is going to come to that point where he tell you to bow or die. Right? The Lord Yahweh Shai is going to come take over the show, and it's going to either be bow or die to him.
So they say, well, they're what? They're like sheep to the slaughter. We understand the role. We understand the role. We just heard the sheep. Sorry. The sheep is not greater than the master. The servant is not greater than the master. And the Lord came as a what? As a lamb to the slaughter. So are we. The scripture says in Isaiah 1, right? All Israel is like what? A cottage in a field of cucumber, besieged. Right? Yes, we the high tower. We the watchtowers, we watch it, we can tell you what's going on, right? And we out here professing to Israel and the heathen nation, yo, there's danger at foot, right? The rulers of the world, which are the Edomites, enemies, right? The enemy of our Lord is our enemy, right? They have a plan, which is to what? Subdue the whole world, going come in, everything inhabited the earth, and put chips in them. Right? But basically I'm dealing with the humans. Put chips in them. Right? That's what the MOTB is about. His mark. His brand of ownership.
When you watch the Transformer, right? The recent one, where Scourge shot at the eagle. Right? For those who might have seen it, they know what I'm talking about. I forgot her name. Right? When shot at the eagle, and he hit her, right? And then she began to show symptoms of glitching, sickness, right? And one of the other Transformers asked, I believe one of the humans asked, what happened to it? And it was like when Scorch hits you, it leaves a mark. It leaves a mark. And then not too long after, Scourge began to manifest in her. She was under the control of Scourge.
That was really a spoiler. Now check it out. You see, because Jake watch your movies to be entertained. I continually say it in front of Jake. I have a colleague that I work with, right? on the outside of my 9 to 5. And he asked me this weekend, he said, what you transform my movie? I said, no, but I get a chance. He said, oh shit. I said, well, thanks for telling me, thanks for the review. I went go and watch it. But it slipped my mind that he said too cold. Right? But I literally told him, I said, hey, I don't watch movies to be entertained. I just watch for the message. And he's like, what message? I was like, all them producers, I was breaking it down to him, because he know what I'm into. I said, all them producers, like I was really proud. Right? I said, all them movie producers, right, to make blockbusters have to know the Bible. And they just bring the scriptures to life in picture form. Right? So they're going to have a message, but he said he wasn't entertained. It's simple mind that he would have preferred, that he wouldn't get the message.
And even so Salakia, even so Toby with you know,
there's a fellow who sang
he acting the other game around.
He's Jake from Africa.
The game are rolling it, and it's have a whole sit down with him explaining, or podcast with him explaining how he got the road. It's one of the I believe was the directors, friend him had that road guy, and they pulled him in.
Alright.
You understand?
I just want with skirt. This is Sirach chapter 13 verse 1. He that toucheth pitch shall be defiled therewith, and he that hath fellowship with the proud man shall be like unto him. But not thyself, but that's it. That's it. You have fellowship with the proud man is he so. They call him out, thou most proud. Right? They shall what? They shall be, he that toucheth pitch shall be defiled therewith, and he that hath fellowship with the proud man shall be like unto him. So she then transformed into him. Because what she was corrupted, pitch on white, right? It's going to corrupt your white.
He left his mark on her.
He left his mark on her.
Like basically, he left his mark on her. You see the people that ultimately get out? Corrupts. You understand? That imprinted mark. That's when he's never going to pop on you, where they're going to be able to control you. He ain't going to be herself. She wasn't herself. When you look at the chick, well, the first clue I had that something was wrong with her before the girl asked the question in the movie, you was watching her, and her beak, the eagle beak just started like fidget, like you see the glitch in it. And a lot of these people here, the scripture says that there's something physical that is going to happen to you all when you receive that mark. We're going to be able to identify people that have the charisma without even feeling that.
Yeah,
Revelation 16.
I have here, Revelation 16.
You're going to see the glitch in them. It's like you were seeing the glitch, or you're seeing the glitch now in those that took the juice. You understand? You know that they took it when people, just all of a sudden, people jump in there, they're sick. You know? They took that juice. You got to ask them. Go ahead.
Blood. Before I break down, this is Revelation 14. Right? This is just a follow through with the mark from scourge. Right? You ever look at the word scourge? Scourge or scourge?
Yes, scourge.
Right. Revelation 14 and 9. And the third angel followed them with a saying, with a loud voice, if any man worship, the word worship, to kiss the hand towards one, in token of reverence.
Worship is to kiss the hand. He said kiss the sun.
Lest he be angry.
Yeah, don't worship none other but the sun.
Yeah,
you gotta worship the sun.
Kiss the sun, lest he be angry.
To worship, yeah, I love this.
And he be destroyed out of the way. Right? Kiss the hand towards one in token of reverence. Among the Orientals, which we are Oriental, we from the East, we not from the West. We were taken from the East and brought in the West.
That's right. It is Occidental.
Yeah.
From Oriental to Occidental.
Right. Especially the Persians to fall upon the knees and touch the ground with the forehead as an expression of profound reverence.
That's the idea. You gotta bow to the king. When the king comes, guess what? You have to bow to him. Every knee shall bow. Every tongue shall confess. That's how to say it. In that day, you ain't going to be calling on wherever you feel like.
That is Yahweh Shai. Yahweh
Shai.
Hey, all need Most High and Christ bless all that shit going from through the door. Just like when he was sick, he knows to call on Yahweh Shai. But now he healthy again. Like he pro. They're gonna happen in that day.
No, I did.
Huh?
Yeah, I was thinking about that. When he was sick, that man showed me how shy, calling on the name of the Lord, but now he's going back to the old ways.
And just so and wax fat big kick. It says, the meaning number 3, needing or frustrating to do homage to one or make obeisance, whether in order to express respect or to make supplication, use of homage, shown to men and being of superior rank to Jewish high priests, to God, to a Mashiach, to heavenly beings, to demons.
And this what Esau wanted to do. Esau wanted to see him as God. He wanted you to worship him, obey him as you would obey God. That's why even during this whole the new NWO, right, and the pushing of the Jews, right, the inoculation, they were talking about ending free will. Right, ending free will. Because free will really and truly, when it comes to a godly perspective and an earthly perspective, the relation with God and mankind, it doesn't exist. And Esau wants that type of power, where you won't be able to rebel against his will. You won't be as free as you think.
That's what YouTube community rules is about. Banning free speech. You can't speak freely. But the only freely speech you want is wickedness. Every time you speak righteousness, right, you become demonized. That's what the scripture say that that depart from sin and get himself afraid. Right? And here is strong definition. Meaning to kiss like a dog, licking a master's hand. To fall approach, that is the third. To prostrate oneself in homage to do reverence to a dog to worship. Right? So going back to the reading, Revelation 14 and 9, the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same will drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, right, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and with brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. Right? So we're going to go back to Revelation 16. Revelation 16 and 1. And I heard a great voice out of the temple saying to the 7 angels, go your ways and pour out the vials of wrath of God upon the earth. And the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worship his image.
Yes, those that take down that MARK, right? Those that take that corrects, right? Their reception of it will be evident in their flesh. Alright? They're going to have a plague upon them. Which you would like show here. Right? G1668 hell course, a wound, especially a wound producing a discharge or a pus. He saw an ulcer, it's a cancer.
Yeah, inflamed cancer, putrefied, oozing sore. And it makes sense because your body, your immune system, right, fights foreign objects. Right? So soon, right, what you're not doing is it. Yes, they're pushing out there all the benefits of it, but they're not telling you what's happening to people who have it. Eventually, everybody's going to fight against it, right? Radiation, for that transmitting and receiving energy right through. Right? Radiation is heat, right? So it comes like you're burning it right through, right? You know, within the chip, there's a cyanide also, right? You know, they're showing movies like Born, they're showing movies like Suicide Squad. If you're not compliant, if you're non-compliant, what they can do, switch off your chip, and that cyanide within the chip can pop and guess what? They get poison and they drop dead. That's right. They show any movies, what they plan to do. Not all non-compliance, they lock you off. Death. And that's the power of our God. That's the power of our God. That's what you so want to do. Because what? The scripture say that You have the power of light. Yahweh is the power of light. He can pull back his spirit. When he's ready to pull back his spirit, your body going to remain here, but the spirit is going to go to him. Right? But he so wants to pull his spirit.
There's Deuteronomy 28, and I will start at 58 to 60. It says, if thou wilt not observe to do all the words of this law that are written in the book, that thou mayest fear this glorious and fearful name, the Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai thy power, then the Lord Yahweh will make thy plagues wonderful, and the plagues of thy seed, even great plagues, and of long continuance, and sore sickness, and of long continuance. Moreover, he will bring upon thee all the disease of Egypt, which thou was afraid of, and they shall cleave unto thee. Also every sickness and every plague which is not written in the book of this law, them will the Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai bring upon thee until thou be destroyed.
Until they be destroyed. Right? And that's the Lord promised to pour upon his people. Deuteronomy 28. If you won't hearken to him, if you won't listen, if you won't obey his words, if you won't hear what the prophets are saying in these times in particular, if you don't take heed to the warning of not receiving that device, there's going to be great plagues coming upon you. As spoken of in Revelation 16 that we just read. Right? Cancer. Right? Death, ultimately. But pertaining to the elect man, this is what the scripture says concerning him. Alright? Or concerning her, because there's the elect lady as well. The elect of the Lord, the household of faith.
Image. It's icon, where you get the word icon from. And that is our image of figure and likeness. As he that touches fit, it shall be like him. Fellowship with the throne, right? It shall be like him. So his image.
The book of Psalm chapter 91. I'm reading up verses verses 10. I start at verse 9. It said, because thou hast made the Lord, which is my refuge, even the Most High thy habitation, there shall no evil before thee. That is the elect. No evil is going to befall them. Right? The evil agenda of the wicked, the evil devices of this devil is not going to overcome the Lord's people. Somebody can read Revelation 3 and 10 as well. Right? The Lord has promised, alright, to keep his end of the bargain once we keep at the end of ours, which is to keep his words, which is to be faithful unto death. Alright, finishing it off, it says, there shall no evil befall thee, there shall shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling. Go ahead.
There's Revelation chapter 3 and verse 10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation.
Lord say, you know what? Keep thee from the hour of temptation. What is the hour of temptation? We go into words. Parazo. Right, the word temptation goes into parazo, which goes into a couple other root words. I mean, even leads back to para or piro, right, in the Greek P-E-I-R-O, right, which goes into a piercing.
Time of piercing.
A time of piercing, an hour of temptation.
There's the same word in Luke 21. Time of perplexity. Which the word perplexity goes into what confusion. When you go to the root, you come back to the same parazo, pira, time of piercing.
Time of piercing.
Because many are not going to know, when you go into it, talk about many not knowing which way to choose, which path to choose.
That's right.
You see? So that these men that setting up everything contrary to the truth is creating confusion. And when the Lord says he's not the author of confusion.
That's right. And then when the scripture says about a double mind, if you're confused in that day, if you're not stable, that's right, if you're not stable in your mind, if you don't have the wisdom, wisdom and knowledge shall be stability of your time.
And that's why the Lord adjure every man to work out his own salvation. How you work it out? With diligence. Due diligence. Due diligence. Be as those of the church of Berea, searching the scriptures every day. Your due diligence. You understand? If you just hear being programmed from a pastor or shepherd, taking every word, guess what? You'll get caught up.
That's right. It's simple. It's simple.
Yeah, it's
What
simple.
scripture says about you. Simple, believe every word. Alright? You gotta be wise out here. Scripture says to give simplicity to the subtlety, to the simple, and the young man discretion. That's what this word is for. This is what this council has been set up for your learning, for your guidance, so that you will walk into the devil's plan.
I want to say something.
Go ahead.
Verse Ephesians chapter 5 verse 6. Let no man deceive you with vain words, for because of these things cometh the wrath of the Most High upon the children of disobedience.
Yeah, because vain words, the word vain means not. Right? Once he said there's going to have no time of become trouble. Then he come back and lie and say he never said that, which was on record. We all saw. So it's like what? All of our memories shut. So the video was distorted for us all alone. Right? Once they told his congregation to eat pork. You understand? To prove. Hey, the only thing we have to prove to Yahweh Shemi Shai is our faith. Like continuing this work. We don't have to prove anything to any man. Right? This is Jeremiah 51 and verse 6. Flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his sword.
Which is not speaking about getting on a plane if you're in America or in Babylon and leaving to go to the Middle East, leaving to go to Israel, or leaving to come here to the Caribbean. Right? Because guess what? It's our temptation which is going to come where? The brother finishes off. You have it still? You finished off, Baba Kusha?
It says, which shall come upon all the world.
It's going to come upon all the world. It's no way you can really run from it. It's a worldwide agenda, 1444, right? It's a worldwide agenda that they're going to push. You ain't going to be able to run and hide from it. Alright? So when it says flee out of the midst of Babylon, it's to come out of that state of confusion. Don't be in the world, but not of it. Don't be entangled with the affairs of this life. Flee the corruption of this world. Go ahead.
It says, continuing, to try them that dwell upon the earth.
To prove them,
Test them.
dwell upon the earth. To test them. The testing. When you go into that word temptation as well, it tells you that to prove him, to see how he would behave himself.
Which part you going to take? You should just say not one neither on your left hand nor your right. You have to stay on that narrow path, that straight gate. For the entrance to the new world, to the new kingdom, is on that narrow path.
That's right.
And it may involve death. It may involve death, and that death is going to be to your glory.
That's right.
Right? We have the faith, but we understand what that is. It's moving from one building to another. We have so many testimonial dreams of brothers getting shot, brothers getting put to death, and at the same time they get shot here, they get shot, and as they're going back, they come back with new bodies. All these things are things that we look forward to. Because the Lord said He's going to raise up a standard. But the word standard, when you go into it, is a what? A way to be what you look on? A way to escape. Right? The Lord is going to give certain men spiritual powers. Jeremiah 51 and 6. Flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Keyword meaning soul. So you're fleeing a spiritual death. You're fleeing spiritually, you're not fleeing physically. So where would you go? Is what is able to say, as they run from a lion and a bear met you. Right? And you put your hand on the wall and a serpent bit you. Yeah? It says, be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense. You see, because the whole earth, as we read before, the whole earth is going to be tried. The whole earth is going to be tested. The MOTP, what the scripture says, calls it all, small and great, rich and poor, free and bond to receive a mark. Right? All these things are hints. What's happening geopolitically? They're moving away from a credit system because they had a cash system, they had a credit system, right? Into the fourth industrial revolution, which is going to go into what? A a technocracy, right? Where they're going to have a digitalized system, right? Going into the MOTV, which is the CHIP.
That's right.
Right? So the prophet must be able to put these things into vision, make it visual. The scripture said, make it plain upon tables and write it upon book. In the end, it shall speak and shall not lie. Habakkuk chapter 2. Right? What the prophet has said, no, on a nice table, a pulpit or whatever, and a microphone, and he comfortable. And he not out here on the streets teaching. That prophet, he living in what? He living in king's houses. He not out here doing the groundwork. You see the men who are out here doing the groundwork, they're the ones who fighting for that crown. But the ones that set themselves up as though they have attained, they have no glory to get. Daniel 12 said what? Many shall arise to everlasting glory, and some to what? Shame and contempt. They're going to have certain Israel, yeah, they're going to be better off, you know, because they're going to have a caste system in the kingdom. But it's still going to have certain men that are going to have their head down in the kingdom to the men that was really what? Doing the work in sincerity and in truth. Right? All Israel going to be saved. 2/3 going to be in the bottom of the barrel. Shaniqua, Taikisha, right? Susie Wong.
This actor, what's her name? The woman that she told Kiki Palmer. Kiki Palmer.
Yeah, that's the who have Lawrence Fishburne was teaching in the reading. She was spelling bee channel.
She recently told her husband basically to chill out, or she's going to link up. Basically, she threatened him to commit adultery. Yeah. That's the woman of our world today. Threatening the men to commit adultery. Alright, some of them just doing it outright and wiping them out and saying they do no wickedness. Alright, so Kiki's the Keisha, like we're going the nigger, bitch woman, that nigger mentality, that ain't making it to the kingdom. Alright, that's gonna be destroyed. Alright, you're gonna have to come back anew. As little babies, you're gonna have to wipe your ass, wipe your tears, right, pamper you until you grow up into your perfection, into your holiness.
You're gonna have memories of your past life. You're going to be ashamed. You're going to be ashamed. You're going to be ashamed.
That's right.
All those that fought against the prophets, they're going to be ashamed.
That's right. See, we don't come and speak out of our own mouths. As the Lord told Ezekiel, tell them, thus saith the Lord. Everything that we say here, bet your bottom dollar is in the Caribbean. Right? Or you can guarantee it's in these words. In the kingdom, there's going to be Israelites that are going to have shame. They're going to be ashamed of how they lived in this last war. Well,
in Sirach 4:21, for there is a shame that bringeth sin, and there is a shame which is glory and grace.
There's a shame that bringeth sin, and there's a shame that is glory and grace. Those who suffer, Yahushua suffered shame, right? And he's going to get glory. Yahushua hasn't received his glory. He's sitting at the right hand of the Father. But his glory actually is going to be when he takes up his elect, the men that believe in him, right? He glorifies them. He comes in that chariot, that fathership, right? He takes the kingdom, he takes the rulership, he takes the crown, and he sits at the head of everything. The earth is the Lord and the fullness thereof, right? But he suffered shame. He was whipped, he was scourged, he was spat on, he had a crown of thorns, right? He was beaten with that cat-o'-nine tail. That was a shame. That was shameful. They lied on him. Daily I was with you in the temples, but they come after me with what? With forks and spears. Right? Yeah, you get through, right? Yeah? You know? That was a shame. The men of the Lord are going to go through that shame. We're going to go through that shame. We're going to go through that affliction. But it's going to work to your glory. God will, you know, the Heavenly Father doesn't take his Holy Spirit off of you and you endure to the end. And you overcome. It's going to work out to your glory. Stay humble and fight. Stay humble. Hey, the scripture says, these afflictions hereunto you were appointed. You are appointed to this shame. In the land where you were, so much promises was made. It had more promises than Isaiah 4:1, you know. Many promises were made. He that follow me into the regeneration shall sit upon 12 thrones, ruling over the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. It had more than Isaiah 4:1. Right? Hey, bitches ain't shit but hoes and trick. All they want to do is suck the dick. Right? That's all there is on this side. Bitches and tricks. Hey, the Lord, when he came to Solomon, he said, he looked for righteous man, he found one. He looked for righteous man, he found none. You understand? They're not righteous. They're not upright. They're not upright. Right? They're not honest.
Well, the book of Zephaniah chapter 3 and verse 19. Behold, at that time I will undo all that afflict thee, and I will save her that halted, and gather her that was driven out, and I will get them praise and fame in every land where they have been put to shame.
The Lord speaking about the elect. Not the whole Israel, no. As the nation of the elect. As the elect of the nation of Israel.
That's right.
All them that afflict thee, and them that halted. What means to halt? Halt. Halt. And there's a German word, if I'm not mistaken. Halt means to stop. Where's stop from? It's stop from committing abomination, from committing sin. Right? Them that halted. Right? The scripture said, all bread is sweet or whoremonger. Right? I'll committed sin. Right? I've read one where basically you will commit, there's a shame unto sin. Bring back that one, Babu Kasha. Yeah, there's a shame unto sin.
There is Sirach 4 and verse 21. It says, for there is a shame that bringeth sin, and there is a shame which is glory and grace.
There's a shame that is bringing glory and grace. Now, a whoremonger is somebody who sells whores. So basically a pimp, right? Who's the biggest whoremonger? TD Jakes, or TD Snakes, People Dollar, right? Joel Osteen. What is selling? The scripture said, as we said before, buy the scriptures and sell it not. Freely you have received, freely you give. But in them churches you have, for example, you go to a church, you have $1,000 line, for tithes and offering, $1,000 line, $100 line, $50 might be the least. Might be the least. When it comes to tithes, guess what? These churches require what? Your pay slip. They work out your 10% and give you back your salary after that.
You can't tell them if you want no cash. I even saw a church. I had a flipping what's called that? This like the car.
Yeah, the links machine.
They had a machine, and the next one would be a very links machine and the ATM.
The ATM. That is big business because to rent them units is, I know to have the links card machine is about $700 a day. At least I was back then when music acquired, it was about $700 a day. $700 to $900 a month. Right? So you had to be getting sales to cover that. Right? And what is selling? What is selling? It's selling the word.
Jeremiah chapter 5 and verse 7. How shall I pardon thee for this? Thy children have forsaken me, and sworn by them that are no gods. When I have fed them to the full, they then committed adultery, and assembled themselves by troops in the harlots' houses.
So that's the biggest whoremongers. The prophet and the teach. The prophet and the priest that sell it lies. What they sell? They sell lies. Peace, peace when there's no peace.
Therefore have you spent your money for that which is not bread. Going up to these churches for these silly breakdowns, silly doctrines. Alright? And the scripture says silly women, laden with sin, led astray.
Yeah, when I see some too, I've like the daughter of Israel, like a cocky and delicate woman. So that's the nation of Israel on a whole. They are the silly women.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
Men and women, they are silly, laden with sins.
And people is foolish. Jeremiah 4:22.
They have no knowledge. Such means stupid. They have no. They don't know the Most High. And they refuse to know the Most High. Right? They refuse. But anyway, the Most High leads them with blind eyes and deaf ears. Because the Most High don't require them to what? To get 21st go around. Right? It's not for them.
It's not for you. You are the rejects. The spiritual rejects are the same second as verse 9. The multitude that was born in vain. See, the Lord has a chosen. And for that chosen to be peculiar, for for that chosen to be special, he can't give his word to everyone. What would make his chosen special? What would make them unique? If everyone could understand on their level, what would make the chosen unique? If all Israel had the same level of thinking, if all Israel had the same IQ, per se, what would make the chosen special? You see, the Lord knows how to cause diversity. The Lord knows how to establish the good of another. Alright, so the Lord made you the way you are so that we can excel above you. The Lord will be a part of his elect. Right? As the scripture says, these things must be that they that are proved may be made manifest.
Heresies.
That's right.
I've heard that there are heresies among you. Right? And it must be so because they that are proved must be made manifest. As I love to quote the New Testament scripture, Surah 42:25. One thing establishing the good of the other, right? And who shall be filled with the whole and the glory thereof? Right? You must have darkness in order to have light. It's a contrast.
That's right.
You must have light in order to have darkness. You must have bitter to have sweet. You must have light, have day in order to have night. Right?
You must have the scorner to have reproof. You understand? It must have, the Lord is a power above controversy. He said he's a man of war. And even in the spiritual world, alright, in the spiritual aspect of things, the Lord brings out variance. Whereas the godly is set against the ungodly, or the godly is set against the sinner, as he said. So to have that continuous or perpetual rivalry, in this time, the Lord has set a lot of our people in their ways.
The Lord, if you understand it, if you take the bird's eye view, or you step back and watch a wider picture, right? The Lord is setting up a regal nation. Regal going into the word royal. Royal going to, hey, that's the kingdom. The kingdom of priest, king, male, dung, go back to domicile, house of the kings. Right? So, what's going to happen here, there's going to happen one nation above all nations, which is the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, that are going to rule over all 17 other nations on the planet Earth. This nation is going to move in a omnipotency or a glory. They're going to behave in a manner in which it's going to be admirable and also fearful to these other nations.
Just excellent. Excellent. The scripture says the righteous was more excellent
than his neighbor.
The Lord is going to bring us back to that excellence where the way of the wicked won't be able to seduce us. We ain't going to be in these flesh.
Hey, the wicked wouldn't be around.
That's right.
The wicked, that opposition is not going to be around. But the nation is going to have to be schooled. Perpetually, they're going to have an everlasting schooling. And that's going to keep. That is what that difference, that contrast right there is our everlasting work. Right? That was going to make us above these nations for eternity.
That's right.
Right? The fact that we're going to be a nation of prophet, priests, and kings of opulence. We're going to be a nation of opulence. Right? Look up all these words. Right? We're going to have riches, desirable riches, and unfathomable riches. All the scripture say all the nations going to bring what? Bring their riches unto Israel. All the resources. Hey, after a while it's going to be a pleasure. It's going to be pain in the first. After a while it's going to be a pleasure to bring it to this nation. Right? But the scourge of the earth, when the Lord glorifies his elect, when he glorifies his nation. Go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 2 and verse 2. And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in the top of the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow unto it, and many people shall go and say, Come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the Most High of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways.
So that mountain goes into what? Government or rulership, right? At the mountain, right? On this side, what they call it, summits. So what they do is to have G7 summits, seven nations that are the highest ruling nations, right? Or G9, or how much ever they bring these nations together, and these are the ruling class nations, right? On the left hand side. But the mountain of the Lord is the whole 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. Right? He elect out the 12 tribes. Right? And that day, they're going to come to the mountains and bow. And bow and offer the sacrifices.
I'm going to come in and get pupils. You know, to learn. Students. Right? Subordinates, servants, underlings, understudies. Alright? It says, and we will walk in his paths, for out of Zion shall go forth the law and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. Because it was given to us. The law was given to us. The words was given to us to be perfected within us. We're going to be under the new covenant, not the heathens. And us being perfected, that's when we're going to teach the heathens the laws. You see, we can't come out here. The teaching is not for the heathens. Not now. You see, these Christians were teaching to be for everybody. And to each represents. Right? Our world-friendly doctrine, supersessionism, replacement theology, come as you are, but the Bible doesn't say so. Right? The Bible is about order. First, the nation of Israel must be perfected with the laws are by placed within them, sowed within our hearts, changed in our bodies, having that immortal body, incorruptible body, and then we can teach. What it says in Romans the 2nd, let us read this. We read this here, the book of Romans chapter 2.
Even when the Lord said we're going to be a spectacle to all nations. You know, forget you. He's a clown. A fucking clown. Why you wanna videotape men?
The book of Romans chapter 2 and verses Romans chapter 2 and verses 3, or start at verse 2, it says, but we are sure that the judgment of power is according to truth against them which commit such things. It says, and thinkest thou this, O man, that judgest them which do such things, and thou doest the same, that thou shalt escape the judgment of power? It says, or despisest thou the riches of his goodness and forbearance and long suffering, not knowing that the goodness of the Lord leadeth thee to repentance? So basically, we as a nation had to repent, right? This is the time of our repentance. This is our time of getting it right before we could project these laws to the nations.
That's what the liberty is about.
Because it just said what? If we think that we could judge these nations and do the same thing, we're making yourself. Right? Where you feel it is, you think that you could judge the nations and do the same thing like the nations. So now it's not the time where we're supposed to teach or instruct these nations righteousness. These nations have to fulfill their life of iniquity. They have to fulfill their life of sin. Right? Ultimately, fall under that punishment that the Lord has for them. Bulk of them that has to be destroyed, get destroyed. Alright? And then in the kingdom, they're going to come to learn of the ways of Yahweh. When we are perfected, we must be perfected first. That's all. So yeah, it's all about order. Jumping down here to verses 18. It says, and outside at 17, it says, behold, thou art called a Jew, which we are the true Jews. These people in the land, why they call themselves Jewish. Right? They wish they were Jews. We are a royal people, that holy nation. Alright, that set apart people. It says, behold, thou art called a Jew. Right, which the word Jew goes back to, or comes from the word Jewry. Right? Which Jewry, alright, goes into the word Judea. Alright, which goes into the word Judah, short for Jew. Alright, or the Jew, sorry, is short for Judah. Right? It says, continuing, and resteth in the Lord, and makest thy boast of the Most High, and knowest his will, and approvest the things that are more excellent, being instructed out of the law. So right now we're being instructed out of the law. In this scripture saying the nations of Leviticus 4 and verse 1, the heir, as long as he is a child, is under tutors. This is our tutoring. We ain't step into that maturity. And you see when we're going to be matured, when we're going to be perfected, is when we get in new bodies. Right now we're still under the tutor. We're still under that tutoring. Alright, I'm ready to be as the scripture says, that which is first is natural, and then afterward what is spiritual. Alright? And then that one in Hebrews, where it says that which is vanishing is ready to fade away. It's ready to fade away. So we're ready to make that transition. We ain't make it yet. We are not under the new covenant as yet. It says continuing, and art confident that thou thyself art a guide of the blind, a light of them that are in darkness. And that's our people. A light unto our people that are in darkness, unto they precisely the elect. An instructor of the foolish, a teacher of babes, which has the form of knowledge and of the truth in the law. The Israelites. The Israelites have a form of knowledge. Like we said in chapter 10. They have a zeal of God, but not according to knowledge, true knowledge. Which went about to set out their own righteousness. That's all. First Corinthians 15 on verse 46, it says, howbeit that was not first which is spiritual, but that which is natural and afterward. And Lord, gospel of God told us to be perfect. And to be perfect doesn't mean that we're gonna actually be perfect, but we're gonna try to attain that perfection. That's right. Which that is how it is attain something first by trying application. But they've been showing it the most likely that you're not trying to be a servant of the Most High. You're not trying to be a son of the Most High. Or you don't believe in this, so you're not going to do what he said. Then you can't get right. No? You got to get perfect in doctrine. And even them men that try to teach that, or you try to teach, or you try to wake up, you know that it's not going to happen. I say possible, because for the elect to be so to be glorified or to be made famous, they must have opposition, or they must have equally opposing side. That's right. That's how metals as gets value. The more it can be found, is the less value gonna have. That's right. Like in economics, in the future economics. Great supply and like silver, they have more silver. Silver is like gold, more than gold, but because there's less of gold, you have more value than gold. But as I say, gold is the least, it's more valuable. Outer more pressure. Outer gold, iron, bronze and iron. So like gold, silver, bronze and iron. Gold is the most or the weakest, most malleable and soft, but the conductivity, because you use gold and silver in healing, right? Silver, I think silver draws, like you have colloidal silver, it will draw impurities to it, right? So like, yeah, it will draw impurities to it, and when you put gold on the microscope, when the impurities, it is repellent, it's pushed away. Yeah, gold have its benefits as well. Because when the Trinidad went home, most times shuffling Moses telling them to beat the calf, telling them grind it to powder and put it in water and let them take a shot and drink it. It haven't had benefits, but what Jake does basically to blink. It will blink. But even subconsciously the being purified. Yeah, they're being purified by it. Because like I have a silver bira, right? When I went to work, when I work
when they go into the toxic zones, they immediately turn black.
Yeah, I heard that as well. But it's when the signs of when it's sick.
Yeah. When we were there, yeah. When long time water, these are the silver coins. You have a jar of water, either in a metal jar or glass jar, and you put the silver coin because that was 999 silver. You put that down inside there, and you leave it there. I remember that because my grandfather, and them, like them had them shit in Tobago and shit. Right? You had a coin in the water, and you drink that water. You pour out a glass of water, and you drink that water.
Yeah. And in the temple, what would happen? What would use for wares and for wares and for cups and
gold and silver.
Gold and silver. But now the having us stainless steel, the ceramic.
And then you get through there. I had a time I was passing to the mall, and put it more close to the airport, right? And an Italian guy, he had gone down gold wares to sell to the hotel, because he had to leave. So he had a trip. It was like an hour to the trip now, and the thing was like $50,000 worth. It was like a wooden box. When they opened it up, it was just gold cutlery and things, right? And I remember the knives and the forks and spoon. Everything was pure gold. He said no bullshit. He said we can go inside now in the jewelry store and test it, right? He said what's the man bring it down to $1,500. It was worth over $50,000. The man bring it down to, he said they have $1,500 no.
US?
TT.
Wow.
He just didn't want to go back with that now.
And you take that?
Where I get it from? I didn't have it. I was in the truth. You know how that kind of money I get in the truth? You know what I'm saying?
The second Ezra chapter 8 and verse 2. I will tell thee a similitude, Ezra, as when thou askest the earth, it shall say unto thee that it giveth much mold, whereof earthen vessels are made, but little dust that gold cometh out. Even so is the cause of this present earth. It was yesterday I saw I didn't show you that walking there on earth have its benefits. Have its benefits, but
I didn't send that video. The guy took the multimeter, right? He took the negative probe in the earth and he hold the positive probe. He set it on DC volts and they had a reading 0.0 whatever. He took off his he was on his slippers. He took off his slippers and he pressed the ground and it went up to about 12 or 14 volts.
but what it do, the making will in that try to cut all the trees, try to pay all the roads, and make payments and stuff.
Take away the power of Israel.
Exactly. All lies part of the source, all lies part of the plan to make us weak, sick and weak. Drawn away from that source of idea and that source of power to bring us down to their basis. Because one day you will be living them caves conquered. So they turn the whole earth into a gigantic cave. Brought us down to, you see when the basis of men ruling, base people. And they don't know about uplifting vibrations, really and truly, because they dwelt in caves. Alright? We are not people that know about that.
But they know about it now. You know why? Because they have access to the books. So Jake coming out on TikTok and all these different social media, not Jake, sorry, he's coming out on TikTok and social media as some big guru of electroculture, doing antennas and planting and all this kind of stuff. As we say, earthing itself, growing itself, all these different things. He saw that tree that you can earth your bed. You can run a ground wire to your bed, right? Run it on a steel frame or whatever, and put it to the ground in a wall plug and shit, right? And that benefits you. You get empowered from that.
Yeah, when you saw I really like the steel invention.
Yeah, steal everything.
Scriptures so custom when I'm on so whatever it is, because I have a platform, they would go to different places in Africa and Asia, and they would interview these elders or chiefs or whatever, these different get the information, summarize it, and then play it on YouTube as if they discovered it. Or if they did some deep research, give like different information what was there before.
Is he Malachi what? Malachi 1 and verse 2. It says, I have loved you, saith the Lord, yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother, saith the Lord, yet I loved Jacob? I hated Esau, and I laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Wherefore Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build desolate places. Thus, which desolate places? What? West America. All these places, not the Middle East. Right? But we will return and build desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. They shall call them the border of the border of wickedness, and the people whom the Lord had indignation forever. Because when he come back, he's going to come back with his righteous anger and his vengeance against each one of them. Right? As I said, you've seen a man and his heritage. Like, I hate to watch, I used to watch that in the early on the True Travel Channel and all these different things. Andrew Zimmer, Anthony Bourdain, and they will come. They had this man that I used to follow at Jamaica called Ras Kitchen. Right? And they have a Canadian Edomite that come down there. I forget his name. And I used to vex with him because I used to like Ras Kitchen, natural way of doing things in calabash and mud stove and mud oven and all that kind of thing. Right? But he saw a come and learn all the cook for Ras Bobo, coming and showing them everything, but he's showing them all the herbs, all the trees, all the roots, all the herbs, everything. I said, no, you can't show them your ways. You showing them your ways, you set up yourself. But them taking that now, and then going back there because they want to know what you said, what was eating to be so fast. They want to know what this one eating, what that one. You showing them everything that's empowering us as change. Why we so resilient? Why we so strong? Right? Why we just won't go down? Why we not going down? We just won't go down. Because we are as it was prophesied, one people shall be stronger than the other. And the elder shall serve the younger. And that's what they're afraid of. They're afraid of the servant.
Yeah, it's the most that creator, so the most that wherever he used to make us, wherever extra features putting us, or extra genes, or extra chromosomes putting us, we took some of them away from us.
So they make us, when they check it out, they say that we are normal. Because we have something that they don't have, which is called gene.
That everybody else don't have.
That everybody else don't have. Faith. Now, but they say the Ishmaelites had it too. Because when the CIA, the person who set up from inside the CIA say, who's videotaping, they say Arabs had something that other nations don't have. Right? They wanted to find out what it is that make them so much believe in their God and their Allah.
Now, I was talking about that, but I was talking about like physical characteristics. Strength and appearance and beauty and
you saw the video posted with he's putting on.
But them don't believe that. Them believe that if you're hungry and or a swine passing front of you, get the pass. So them don't believe one fuck. Them don't just play us. You understand? Yeah. I hear numerous Muslims say that. If a swine is a bum and about if time come that is what I have to eat, I don't understand. That is the same Christian doctrine. Probably them in the Middle East people believe different, like have different sexes.
Yeah, these Sunnis and
different sexes.
Shia and all that kind of shit. That's separation. But you should say, yeah, but you know, there's one. Shema Yashrala, Yahawala, Yahawaka. So that's why we know that Islam is false.
The book of John 10 and verse 10. The thief cometh not but for to steal.
See that a man and his heritage.
And to kill.
They kill during the triangular slave trade and in slavery.
And to destroy.
They destroy everything about us. He shall discontinue from the heritage. What is your name? Kunta Kinte. No. Toby. What's your name? Toby. What is your name?
Beat your traditions and your customs out and try to enforce their own and will take your own and make it appear as they came out with it.
And that's what I was going to say just now. It's like I used to hate watching Travel Channel or watching Food Channel. Food Channel will have competitions, right? Where you have a panel of Edomites. And you have a natural born Japanese showing you how to cook a Japanese dish. And the Edomite judging them and telling them, you can do it. How the hell that can happen? How the hell somebody who grew up and that's what he grew up knowing, his mother, his grandmother, his grandfather, whoever this was teaching him, he knew it from grassroots before he even deal with that gas stove or electric stove. They're cooking from coal, they're cooking from bamboo, from wood, and them making the thing. As we were saying, they're chunking the thing. But he's so saying, no, I'm not nah, have too much salt. It don't have enough flair.
Only Israelites do that. Only Israelites do that. Scripture says easy form our thing.
Can't.
Only we could do that. We could go in as conscience and all this bullshit.
Yeah, because only we come in the country, right? Taste your dish and replicate it back for you normal. I know what spicy you use, ting. Boom. What happened? How you losing that? You've been a long time or two, but Jane have that flavor about them. That's a special sauce.
Isaiah chapter 10 verse 20. And it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel, and such as are escaped of the house of Jacob, shall no more again stay upon him that smote them.
Talking about how they beat them different names into us, right? Them that smote them, right? Will no longer stay upon them, which is to trust in their way of living, right? Their judgments, right? Their way of thinking, their way of living.
Their plan for the future, how the world's going to be, right? We're going to have a servitors and technician. We're going to have a MOTB. They're going to be fair health. They're going to be fair welfare. They're going to be fair identity, security, right? Fair social security, fair new monetary system, fair convenience. They can open and close doors, security, everything. No, they're not gonna trust it that way. They're not gonna stay on them. They're gonna stay on your Halbash and your Hashem because He is our prosperity. Right? The God of the Hebrews is the prosperity of Hebrews. Right? Our prosperity is not how much we can work overtime. Right? Not going to the schools and the colleges and getting a big job. That's not a prosperity. Our prosperity is Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Right? Keeping His ways. Understanding and keeping His ways. The scripture says, get wisdom, and with all that getting, get understanding. And that's what the time of liberty and grace is about. Understanding everything. And how you get that understanding? Through the Rakah Kodash. Right? Firstly, through the names, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, because you have to pray and ask them for it. You have to make sacrifices unto them for it. Right? You have to live and be under the practice of her disciplines. Right? And then, when He finds you worthy, He's going to reveal it unto you.
What we need to understand this is, what we need to understand is this world is not about you or me or anything. This world is about you. And you had to find out what you will at the most time. You can't just be living out there and studying with the most, with the plan of the most time, just be you're too sound and the plan of the most time to prosper. Or read a proverb and plan the most time to attain wisdom and some fairy tale in your mind. You gotta understand the plan of the most time. You will at the most time this time because it's our one ultimate will, but at different point in history that's changed. Like for example, you would have a time for Israel to go and save Babylon, and then he would have wanted to destroy Babylon to free Israelites and to build back the temple. Now in this time, the will of the Most High is set up a kingdom based on righteousness, but this kingdom had to fall. And if this kingdom will unfold, you can't be looking to build up anything in this place.
This government. The Lord is actually this whole time here, the Lord setting up His government. Right? And you have to understand it. That this truth is not your will, this truth is His will. He's setting up His government, His rulers. They're going to rule on the 12 thrones, ruling over the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. You understand? So you have to have a kingly mindset and you're working towards that. And like I showed somebody that Yako video last weekend, Immortals, Immortality or something like that, right? And he was saying you have to understand that the elect, they're here, but you're on a mission. Along the way, what is going to happen? You're going to meet women, you're going to have wives, you might have children. But guess what? You're not supposed to get distracted by these things. You on a mission. You working for that crown. You working to be refined. You working to glorify the Father. You understand? You working to what? To be refined.
That's right, that's right.
You know? Because what? Again, going into that garment, being unspotted. I think that's in Revelation. The unspotted garment. You don't dwell not in unclean places or unrighteous places.
Ephesians 5 verse 4, it says, wherefore he said, awake thou that sleepest, and arise from the dead, and Yahushua shall give thee light. See then that he walks circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. Wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is. And the will of the Lord is to destroy this place. Even if you don't believe in the Bible, even if you don't believe in a God, or even if you don't believe in the Bible, and you believe in some other book, you would know that a God not going to just let what happen in America slide. A just God not just going to let what happen in America slide. Where they had Negroes for 300 and something years under slavery, hardcore slavery, and just whipping the backs, just tormenting them, and bring it even to this day and all. They try to tormenting Jakes, have you in a similar position where you cannot prosper, where you're barely eating, or you're barely surviving and eating just to go to work the next day. You would know that, so that means that something gonna befall that place, that land.
That's right.
Something have to befall that land.
This is the book of Isaiah chapter 63. And I start at verses 8. It says, for he said, surely they are my people, children that will not lie. So he was their savior. In all their affliction he was afflicted, and the angel of his presence saved them. In his love and in his pity he redeemed them, and he bare them and carried them all the days of old.
As they were saying that he will forget it now. He would adjust power, not just one leave all that licks for nothing. 2 Thessalonians 1 and 16, this is a righteous thing with God to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you. Recompense is payback. Payback. Tupac once said, revenge is the sweetest joy next to getting pussy. You understand?
So we recompense God. It didn't have no schedule on that recompense, but not all the time. We recompense God and be an everlasting recompense. So we're not gonna fall. We're not gonna fall. We're gonna be rich. We're gonna be prospering. We're gonna have it all for eternity. As long as we go back on top, we're not gonna, as the scripture said, affliction shall not rise up a second time. We're not gonna fall to that curse of sin where we're gonna be serving other nations and we're gonna have to be approved by the Most High for going on for now. Once we get them new bodies, we're gonna live a perfect lifestyle. We're gonna be at the top.
That's right.
We're gonna be at the top, and it ain't gonna have any uprising or rebellion or secret councils to dethrone us. I'm gonna shoot this piece up here. There's a couple of verse 13. Verse 12. It says, art thou not from everlasting, O Yahweh my power, my holy one, shall not die. O Yahweh, thou hast ordained them for judgment, and almighty power, thou hast established them for correction. Which was talking about the Edomites today. He established them for judgment and for correction. So if they establish them for judgment and correction, and the Most High say, that time judgment and the correction is about to be up. What I mean that these people that were put there are going to be taken out of the way. They're going to fall once that judgment and that correction time done, period done. Verse 13, it says, thou art of pure eyes unto behold evil, and canst not look on iniquity. O Wherefore lookest thou upon them that deal treacherously, and holdest thy tongue when the wicked devour the man that is more excellent than you? And the Most High God holy tongue, as the scripture says in Psalms 50th chapter, I am hold you silent, and I thought that I was one and such as himself. But the Most High not with them, either might have them. He against them. That's right. As the scripture that brother brought me right earlier, they would say, they would call them before them, they would stand people against the Most High, against whom the Most High in the nation forever. People are gonna realize in the kingdom. That we're gonna be saying in the kingdom, because right now people still believe that the Most High will be the mighty and they can be saved and this and that. But when you see the judgment that is to come, when you see the judgment that is to come, you can say, nah, boy, the Most High hate them, the Most High really fucking hate them. You said you
These are 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verses 8. That's not verse 7. It says, for the mystery of iniquity doeth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. Until he be taken out of the way. So the mystery of iniquity, Esau, Edom is being revealed. Alright, and they're not just being revealed as pertaining to their identity, but the Lord today is revealing their lot. What the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua has destined for them. Alright, that dream that Martin Luther King saw where black boys and girls were holding hands and went off into the sunset. Right, that ain't gonna happen.
So that was Malcolm X.
Right? What's gonna happen is the black boys, alright, are gonna have the black white girls and white boys in chains. That's what's gonna happen. Alright, we're gonna have them in chains, we're gonna have them bending on their knees.
In breeding farms.
In breeding farms. Licking up the dust of our feet.
And he stops.
That is the dream. That is the vision. Alright, that is written in this book.
I have one for you. This is Sirach 35 and 18. For the Lord will not be slack, neither will the mighty be patient towards them, till he have smitten in sunder the loins of the unmerciful, and repaid vengeance to the heathen, till he have taken away the multitude of the proud, and broken the scepter of the unrighteous, till he have rendered every man according to his deeds, and to the works of men according to their devices, till he have judged the cause of his people, and made them rejoice in his mercy.
But then it have some knuckleheads out there, right? Like vocabulary and knucklehead has to be, right? Because his big comeback, his big apologetic response to this truth pertaining to the judgment of Esau is that the Edomite done away with. Really? Just so the Edomite, when you saw that, brother, where is the record, where is the history that we could pull up that the Edomites were destroyed? That's supposed to be a big thing, because throughout the Bible, the Lord saying that he's gonna destroy Edom, right, for the violence against Jacob. He even says he's gonna use Jacob to get rid of Esau. Where we can find that history that the Israelites wiped out the Edomites. We'll wait for that piece of history. Until you bring that history, we ain't believing that the Edomites done away with.
He ain't given up. He have to be paid. He have to be paid. Because the same, he know he talking shit. And for a man to know he talking shit and be persistent still, that had to have some kind of influence behind that. That had to be some kind of monetary gain, because he are not probably getting fucking fat. Because he realized that everything that he come with, everything I come with them for them, know everything he scripture, carry around them. And yet still he coming up with some other narrative, some other false narrative, some other false information. Or the Edomite done away. When? If the Edomite done away, then who ruling them?
No, we ain't going around the Christians, Anna.
But in what is that said? Lamentations 4, 21, 22. Rejoice and be glad, O Lord, for Edom, that dwelleth in the land of birth. The cup also shall pass forth. Thou shalt be drunken and shalt make thyself lit. But if they are the punishment of thine iniquity accomplished no daughter of Zion. So, right as the daughter of Zion, punishment accomplished, Esau going into captivity. So then how the Edomites done away with? Because right now, the daughter of Zion is in captivity and is about to be in the accomplishing of the punishment. That is when our Lord Yahushua returns. So then how Esau done away with it? Because he going to captivity right after.
But in Boca, they're free, right now they're free in their land. You know, the East Coast, they're free in Israel. Yeah, the Israelites not in captivity, them in Israel. Right? Them out of captivity, you can't know David there, right? They can't know Yahushua didn't come and bring them there. They went into the land through a declaration by Balfour, 1948, that's type of offering that went on, and they're free. These is imposters in the land. We are the Israelites today that are still bound, waiting on the Lord Yahushua to return. The salvation of Israel has not yet come. The captivity of Esau Edom, or the annihilation of Esau Edom, has not yet come. Vocab Malone does not know prophecy. He does not know the Bible. He's a dummy. Right? It's a shame to know that have even guys that Israelite folks, right, believing in vocab. Men like Marcus Rogers, right? Another Christian apologist, following in his step, following in his vibration, right? And I believe locally here, that a man come up to me and talk about vocab. Forget who he was.
I think Michael was listening to a news to the he changed it up. From the government, somebody paid because they do not get all knowledge and still have all that zeal to teach them for it. Because vocabulary are smart. He's beyond them. When I listen to him, he's smart. Right? And it's clear to see, if he's smart, that Jesus Christ is real. Because you go up to the apostles, you go up to Eli and Shawman, them in Dallas, you go up to areas where that comes. And it is consistently broken down. Jesus Christ is not.
Till he gets so tired, he go to the GOCC, ICPK, IUIC, and GMS is not no good. Prove it. You can't prove that it's all done away with, right? You can't prove nothing. Take a breath. Can I take a ticky time out?
So if you get all that licks, how you still finding zeal to talk about Christ?
And they can't prove it. First Thessalonians 5:21, prove all things and hold fast, which is good.
Because it's clear he can't prove it. He know he can't prove it because he go constantly and get debunked all the time.
Look how beautiful, like the avenue that we had gotten. When the Jake come and say, boy, I set out to disprove the Hebrew Israelites, and I was made a believer. So that was proof to show that vocabulary is Edomite. Mark Reiser is an Edomite.
Mark Reiser and Marcus was. Let's mark, you gotta mark them. They're marked in the spirit.
This is Ecclesiastes 4:15 and 16. I consider all the living which walk under the sun. Who walk under the sun? Us. Right? We. It says, with the second child that shall stand up in his stead, there is no end of all the people, even of all that have been before them. They also that come after shall not rejoice in him. Surely this also is vanity and vexation in the spirit.
So when scripture talk about the see that the wicked from before Noah, or see that kid, that in that come back to that is supposed to show you that the most I don't forget them. Not because they die here now. That is why the reincarnation will come. Because they die here now, you feel like you get away from the punishment. Most I send them back with that same punishment.
That's right.
So you turn around and he's sort of away with, or he's not feeling like kill himself and get away. Nah, coming back.
Christopher, is Isaiah 14 and 21 says, prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise nor possess the land nor fill the face of the world with cities.
And them same trend that we going on. Them same trend that we going on possessing the kingdom is the same one that had us in captivity 300, 400, 500 years ago. Same one. It's not anybody different. They're not paying. And the Jakes like they say, as soon as something happens bad to them, or as soon as something happens to this generation here, the sins of the parents fall on each other. No, them young gremlins and them getting judged for fucking this back now.
This is Ezekiel 18 and 20. The soul that sinneth, it shall die. The son shall not bear the iniquity of the father, neither shall the father bear the iniquity of the son. The righteousness of the righteous shall be upon him, and the wickedness of the wicked shall be upon him. And that's why the planet seems to be so overpopulated, as though the resources going to run out like Pakaskas and in New Amiams.
Most I said everybody
For their judgment.
this is the last big fucking show. This is the grand finale of judgment here. But I send everybody
To receive.
send everybody
Because everybody going to receive their reward. Revelation 22, 11 and 12. Let the filthy remain filthy, let the just remain just.
Scripture did say, Scripture did say, what is the end of an unrighteous generation? So Esau getting the judgment. And while Esau getting the judgment, all those Jakes that was confederate Esau and wanted to do abominable things, them getting the judgment as well.
Okay, let's quickly say, like, so going back to when Jake stood up and said, let his blood be upon us and our children.
They had to pay for that curse.
They were actually putting curses on this land.
Yeah, they had to pay for that
Because
curse.
they are their children. They would be their children coming back.
Right, but then the scripture say what? Let the soul that's in it, and then when the
That's right.
differentiation between the soul and the spirit come to pass. Right? Because the spirit is one and the soul is the other. The spirit is the life with the breath, the understanding, but the soul is the individual spirit coming back. That spirit. Right. The father, in the beginning, they had a progenitor. Then the progenitor had a son or had sons. Right? So it had a beginning and it had a lineage. Right? And then that lineage will stop in the third and fourth generation and keep on coming back. The cycle of life. Right? So no, each and every individual, their souls, right? The soul is that individual being. Right? They're coming back here for their judgments. Right? This is Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5 and verse 15. But the righteous live forevermore. Their reward also is with the Lord, and the care of them is with the Most High. Therefore shall they receive a glorious kingdom and a beautiful crown from the Lord's hand. For with his right hand shall he cover them, and with his arm shall he protect them. He shall take to him his jealousy for a complete armor, and make the preacher his weapon for the revenge of his enemies. But there's a scary thing. The scripture say what? He saw heard the report and was afraid. That's in Jeremiah 51.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. It says, he verse
He said you made the creature his weapon.
yeah, what we do, it says, verse 17, he shall take to him jealousy for a complete armor, and make the preacher his weapon for the revenge of his enemies. Jeremiah 51 and 20. Go on down.
Deal will I break in pieces the nations, what my weapons, the war my battle axe.
I think it's Isaiah 48, 42. But he said, yeah. I ain't saying nothing right now, man. Right? He said, fear not the womb, Jacob. Right? Right. He gonna what? He gonna yeah. It says, he shall put on righteousness as a breastplate and true judgment instead of an helmet. He shall make holiness for an invincible shield. A severe wrath he sharpened for a sword. Severe wrath. Severe wrath. That's what y'all check on what? Severe wrath. Right? And shall sharpen for a sword, and the world shall fight with him against the unwise. So the cosmos will fight with him against the unwise. You had it? You had it, Matty?
What the fear? I had one on the Esau coming back to judgment. Revelation chapter 1 and verses 7. Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him. Pertaining to Yahushua Mashiach, promised to return, right, in these times, in these last times. It says, and they also which pierced him, these Roman soldiers, these Edomites that pierced him, the ones that nailed him to the cross, hands and feet, and the one that even pierced him on his side. They're going to see him. How are they going to see him? They're going to be here, reincarnated, alright, waiting their judgment. I feel it was General Patton, what was his name, who wrote the poem where he said he felt like he pierced our Lord, right? That could be him. That could be that soldier that pierced the Lord, right? And that whole poem that he wrote actually was about reincarnation. Him speaking about battles that he faced. I believe he also
mentioned like he walking through the US and he's like saying that he was here before.
How he fought alongside Alexander the Great. Yeah. All these different things he mentioned in that poem. General Patton or something like that. Yeah. And read it again, Revelation 1 and 7. Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all the kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him, even so am I.
Deuteronomy 32 and 29. It says, oh, that they were wise, that they understood this, that they would consider their latter end. How should one chase 1,000 and two put 10,000 to flight? Right? Except their rock had sold them and the Lord shut them up. Right?
Firstly, when we saw one of them, how should one chase 1,000?
Two for 10,000 to flight.
Except their rock and sold them. Our rock sold them. Our rock sold us. Our rock shut us up. That is the only how you might could have taken us from the state.
Very quick. This is this is
now this is that shit that doesn't only apply to us, it applies to us. In order to consider along with that time.
Yeah, when you turn our captivity, put it on them, we're gonna do them the same thing. But we're gonna have that power. Just like how we was big and strong than them. How could the Lord give them that power to be fair that you with gun, right? Whip. They came with weapons, they came with the sword. It says Baruch chapter 4 and verse 6. He was sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because he moved the Most High to wrath, he was delivered unto he was handed over. You break, we are known as the covenant people. It was a covenant from the time of Moses. You revise that covenant in the time of Joshua, right? And then they break it. Right? This is Baruch chapter 2 verse 13. For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people. But in the land of their captivity they shall remember themselves, and shall know that I am Yahweh, their power. For I will give them an heart and ears to hear. And they shall praise me in the land of their captivity, and think upon my name.
What we do now, we're thinking upon the name. A lot of groups not thinking upon the name. They're thinking about all kind of things. They're thinking about our fashion show Passovers. They're thinking about giving the truth a whole fun and go ahead and save us. Right? You gotta think upon the Most High's name. That is what is important. That's a part of the salvation package. Knowing the name of the Lord. Alright? If you want to be saved, you gotta know those names, believe in those names, and represent those names. But
it says, and they shall praise me, verse 33, Baruch 2 and 33, and return from their stiff neck, and from their, repent from their stiff neck, and from their wicked deeds, for they shall remember the way of their fathers, which sinned before the Lord, and will bring them again into the land which I promised with an oath unto their fathers Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and they shall be lords of it. And I will increase them, and they shall not be diminished. And I will make an everlasting covenant with them to be their God, and they shall be my people, and I will no more drive my people of Israel out of the land that I have given them. Right? I have more fear. This is Isaiah 40 and 17. All nations before him are as nothing, and they are counted to him less than nothing.
Right? These heathen nations. These heathen nations are nothing to the side. Not one thing. And then he said even less than nothing. I said greater this. Alright? That's to show you how much he does not cater
And
for these
vanity.
nations.
Say less than nothing and vanity.
Vanity.
Which is naught.
That's right. But the nation that is something to him, that is a peculiar people to him, a holy people to him, is
This
the
is
nation Israel.
what you say to them. That peculiar people. Isaiah 41 and 10. Fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy power. I will strengthen thee, yea, I will help thee. Yea.
Strengthen us and he will help us. This is that strengthening and this is that help ultimately, which leads to that ultimate help from above, where Yahweh Shai is going to crack the skies and abduct us. There's going to be our abduction. We're going to see black men, right, going up into chariots, into vehicles.
Not only black men, but the tribes to Ephraim, yeah, oh, the change. Well, Ephraim was still as a kick on good, so they're still going to be lighter than, you know. I will strengthen thee, yea, I will help thee, yea, I will uphold thee with thy right hand of my righteousness, which is Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai said that I will be with thee to the end of the earth. So Yahweh Shai is the spirit within us. We come in the name of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. He said we are heralds to Yahweh Ba'ashim. We are the forerunners, we are the ambassadors to Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. And guess what? Isaiah 54 and 17 said what? No weapon formed against thee shall prosper. That's right. So hey, AIDS and prosper, you still here. SARS, COVID or CV19, what they carry them on the island and get them? Syphilis, groupies, all Christianity, religion, cancers, none of them. Right? The elect's still here. Just won't die. There's put it in the movies. Yeah? The more they oppress them, the more they multiply. It says, behold, all they that were incensed against thee shall be ashamed and confounded. They shall be as nothing. And they that strive with thee shall perish.
Shall what?
Shall perish.
Shall perish. All those that fight against us are going to lose. They're losers. They're going to take that big L. In the end, there's a win-win for the
loser.
God, so as Revelation 15 says, they stood upon the sea of glass having harps. Those that had what the victory. May the victory come into the Lord's elect, who always maketh us to what the triumph. It's a triumphant, this is a triumphant story. Alright, then the scripture say, if he overcome, he shall receive the thing that I say. Alright, and that's what's about to happen. We're going to overcome this devil through the blood of the Lamb, word of our testimony, and ultimately loving our life. Loving not our lives, this life, until death.
It says Psalms 129 and 1. Many a time have they afflicted me.
Many a times have they afflicted us. We went through all kind of afflictions. We went through the Egyptian affliction, right back in Egypt. We went through the Assyrian affliction, the Persian, Babylonian, if I missed that, right? Grecian, the Roman, the Greco-Roman, right? The Rome revived empire today. American affliction, being afflicted now in this government that we are under here in Trinidad.
He's fighting against Moab, Ammon. He's fighting against them. What nation had not a hand? Yeah.
So we went through all many a times they afflicted us, but what?
From my youth, may Israel now say, many a time have they afflicted me from my youth.
Go ahead.
Yet they have not prevailed against me.
Yet they have not prevailed against me. In the end, we win, and all of them lose. That's right. We shall overcome.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
The plow was plowed upon my back. They made long their furrows.
They plowed upon our back. Right? They whipped us. Right? They whipped us to work for them. They ran all over us.
Work, work, rest,
God.
rest, work, work, sleep, sleep. We sleep when we get licks. Right?
We had no time to sleep basically. They had us in breeding farm. They sold a boy for a harlot. There were jigs that was actually sold to just have sex. The Queen breeding farm, I forgot one name of El Yashwamba went into that, and he had a jig. He called his name a young youth, right? That had a certain quota of females that he had to breed per day.
Yeah, good job.
But then they would have him even pop his sister. They would have him pop his mother.
Yeah, that's evil.
Motherfucker, where that term come from?
Yeah,
Motherfucker.
Yeah.
That came from them having us pop our mothers in slavery. These damn that way scripture talks about lest there be anyone fornicator or profane person as Esau. He's profane, he's a fornicator. This devil, like you look at the porn industry. The porn industry today, right? And even back then, alright, it's corrupt. Alright, it's always mother with a man sleeping with his mom.
The
Title, all that kind of fuckery.
Son, a mom and boy and
Stepmother and what kind of fun.
All the fornications you can think of, it's right up there.
title. It says, Psalms 129 and verse 4, the Lord is righteous. He had cut asunder the cords of the wicked. Let them all be confounded and turn back that hate Zion. Let them be as the grass upon the housetops, which withered afore it grew up. Wherewith the mower filleth not his hand, nor he bindeth sheaves in his bosom.
Today ain't gonna be reaped. You understand? They ain't gonna be reaped. The flower ain't water. And that the Lord ultimately they're not gonna receive these devils into his chariots. They're gonna be heaped up to be burned. Alright, put them in bundles to burn them, but the wheat he's gonna gather into his banner. Them grass on the house, stop the farmer ain't have time for that. That's for the birds to pluck and make nests. Right? And carry away by the birds. But the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua has focused on his precious fruit. Alright, his plant, that grape of a cluster, that grape of that great people, as the scripture says in 2nd Ezra. That's who the Lord is looking upon. That's who he's going to gather, and that's who he's going to deliver into that beautiful kingdom that we speak of. Right? There's a kingdom to come, and that kingdom to come is going to have slavery. Right? It's going to have a rulership that is going to be one of a dictatorship style. We ain't going to have no democracy. The people ain't going to rule. Right? The people ain't going to be able to speak. The scripture say, against Israel shall not a dog move his tongue. They ain't going to be able to say who they want in power in our kingdom. Alright? Whatever we say goes, there's going to be one king, and that's going to be the king forever.
So with that, we give all praises to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaKakodash.
Avalon and Sound Forces and Elders are great men soul and sight to stream and imagine in this work in truth and in sincerity. We skin their lives to do so. Right? We are the branch of Great Growth Stone Trinidad Camp signing out. Same Wat Lababal, Abad Babal, and DTA. Shalom to the elect.
Shalom to the elect.